The moment you decide to stop wandering and start winning is the moment you stop running in circles and begin your ascent. Welcome to episode 3 of Principles for Success, the 5-step process where we strip away the noise and get laser focused on what really moves the needle. Clarity is the starting line of every success story. Without it, you're just moving, not advancing. Think about it. How many people wake up every day, go through the motions, and still feel stuck? It's because they don't know exactly what they're chasing. A blurry vision produces blurry results. But when you define what you want with absolute crystal clarity, you've already done half the work of achievement. It's like locking a missile onto a target. Once you're locked in, the rest is just navigation and execution. The truth is, power comes from knowing exactly where you're going. If you don't decide, life will decide for you. And life's decisions are often random, chaotic, and never in your favor. So the first demand of success is to stop drifting and start defining. Imagine you're at sea with no compass. Every wind feels like progress, but in reality you're lost. Now imagine having a precise map, a compass pointing north, and a destination so clear you can describe it in one sentence. That's the difference between mediocrity and mastery. The reason most people never break through is because their vision is conditional. They want success, but only if it's convenient. They want to grow, but only if it doesn't hurt. They want to achieve, but they don't even know what achieve looks like for them. If you can't picture it, you'll never capture it. You need to be so clear about your vision that if someone wakes you up in the middle of the night and asks what you're chasing, you answer without hesitation. Clarity also simplifies decision making. Every opportunity, every distraction, every fork in the road becomes easy to evaluate. You don't waste energy debating whether something is worth it because you've already defined what you want. Does this move me closer to my vision or not? If yes, proceed. If not, cut it loose. That discipline saves you from the trap of busyness without progress, the trap of saying yes to everything and ending up with nothing. But don't confuse clarity with fantasy. Clarity isn't daydreaming about some vague picture of wealth or freedom. It's specific, it's measurable, it's a sharp image in your mind that leaves no room for interpretation. If your vision is, I want to be successful, that's weak. Success by what standard? How much? By when? Doing what? That's not clarity. That's an excuse to stay comfortable. A real vision is, I want to build a business that impacts 1 million people within 5 years. Or I want to be financially free by age 40 with assets that generate consistent passive income. That's power. When your vision is crystal clear, people feel it. They notice the conviction in your voice, the energy in your actions, the certainty in your steps. It attracts allies, investors, mentors, even competitors who take you seriously. Nobody follows a leader who doesn't know where they're going. But when you radiate clarity, people either join you or get out of your way. Clarity also brings resilience. The journey to success will test you. There will be failures, rejections, setbacks, and unexpected storms. If your vision is weak, you'll quit. If it's clear, you'll adapt. You'll adjust the sails, but the destination remains the same. That's why clarity is more powerful than motivation. Motivation comes and goes, but clarity anchors you when the waves get rough. Most people overestimate the importance of talent and underestimate the power of vision. Talent without clarity is wasted. Hard work without clarity is misdirected. Even luck is useless if you don't know what to do with it. But clarity multiplies whatever you already have. It channels your energy into one direction until the impossible becomes inevitable. So here's the challenge. Define your vision so clearly that it scares you. Make it so bold, so specific, so undeniable that you can't ignore it. Write it down, say it out loud. Refine it until it feels sharp enough to cut through doubt. Then commit your life to pursuing it with every ounce of energy you have. The world rewards the bold, not the vague. Power belongs to those who see their future with such clarity that it becomes real long before it happens. If your vision is crystal clear, your actions will follow. If your actions follow, results are guaranteed. That's the chain reaction. And once you've locked onto your vision with absolute certainty, nothing, no setback, no distraction, no fear can stop you. That's the real power. Clarity so sharp it turns dreams into destiny. Most people look at problems and immediately feel defeated. They see a wall, and their first instinct is to stop. But the truth is, problems aren't walls. They're the raw material that builds strength. Every challenge you face is fuel for growth, if you choose to see it that way. The only real roadblock is the mindset that treats problems as reasons to quit instead of opportunities to advance. Think back to any great achievement in history. Behind it was a string of problems that had to be solved. Innovation doesn't happen because life is easy. It happens because life throws obstacles in the way. A problem is simply life asking you, do you want it badly enough? If the answer is yes, you dig deeper, you adapt, you create. That's why those who win don't wish for fewer problems. They train themselves to extract power from them. The difference between average players and extraordinary leaders is in their relationship with problems. Average players avoid them, complain about them, or get paralyzed by them. Extraordinary leaders hunt them down, confront them head on, and use them as stepping stones. A problem is not an enemy, it's a teacher. It exposes weaknesses, highlights blind spots, and forces you to sharpen your strategy. Without problems, you'd never evolve. The reality is, growth is uncomfortable. Problems create the friction that sparks progress. If you're not facing problems, you're not pushing hard enough. Comfort zones are problem-free zones, and they're also achievement-free zones. When you embrace problems as fuel, you start to crave the struggle, because you know that on the other side of that discomfort is a version of yourself you've never met before. When a problem shows up, you have two choices. You can let it drain your energy, or you can let it energize you. If you let it drain you, you lose momentum. If you let it energize you, you build momentum. That's the secret. Problems are not interruptions to your journey, they are the journey. Every solved problem is a brick in the foundation of your success. And here's the truth most people don't want to admit. The bigger the problems you solve, the bigger your rewards. Wealth, power, and influence don't flow to the person who runs from problems. They flow to the one who solves the most difficult, painful, complex problems that others avoid. The marketplace pays for solutions, not excuses. If you want to rise to the top, you must learn to love the weight of problems on your shoulders. This doesn't mean pretending problems don't hurt. They will test you. They will frustrate you. They will make you doubt yourself. But instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Start asking, what is this teaching me? That single shift changes everything. Suddenly, the problem isn't punishment, it's preparation. It's shaping you into the kind of person who can carry success without being crushed by it. Think of problems like resistance in the gym. Without resistance, there's no muscle growth. Without problems, there's no mental or strategic growth. Every rep you push through, every heavy lift makes you stronger. In the same way, every problem you attack and resolve builds capacity. That capacity compounds over time, and before you know it, you're operating at a level most people can't even imagine. The harsh truth is, many people waste their entire lives running from problems, hoping for a smooth path that never comes. They blame, they complain, they wait for conditions to be perfect, but conditions are never perfect. Success belongs to those who accept the imperfection, embrace the struggle, and keep moving forward anyway. So the next time you face a problem, don't shrink, expand. Don't ask, why me? Ask, what can I learn? How can I grow? What advantage can I create out of this? That's the mindset that transforms obstacles into fuel. Because once you understand that problems are not blocks on your road, but the very fuel that powers your journey, you stop fearing them and start leveraging them. And here's the ultimate reward. Once you master problems, fear loses its grip on you. Nothing intimidates you anymore because you know every challenge is secretly an invitation to level up, While others hesitate, you accelerate. While others complain, you conquer. While others see dead ends, you see doors. That's how you turn problems into power. That's how you transform setbacks into setups. And that's why problems will never be your roadblocks, only your fuel when things fall apart. Most people scramble for quick fixes. They slap on a patch, put on a smile, and hope nobody notices the cracks. But here's the ugly truth: patches don't last. Fear will tear them open again. Failure will expose them when you least expect it. The problem you ignore today becomes the monster that eats you alive tomorrow. If you want to build something that survives the storms, you can't patch over the damage. You have to dig until you find the root. Fear hides in the roots. Failure grows from the roots. What you see on the surface, the arguments, the lost deals, the broken systems, those are symptoms, not causes. They are shadows cast by something deeper. And if you keep fighting shadows, you'll never win. You'll exhaust yourself swinging at the surface, while the real enemy sits underground, laughing at you. That's why most people stay stuck in the same cycles. They don't want to face what lies beneath. It's easier to pretend that a small adjustment will fix everything, but the disease is deeper than the symptoms. You can replace employees, change partners, tweak your strategy, even rebrand your image, and still find yourself back in the same pit. Because the real issue was never addressed. Fear tells you not to look too deep. Fear whispers that if you dig, you'll uncover something ugly. Something about yourself, your habits, your weaknesses, that you don't want to admit. And it's right, you will find something ugly, but here's the truth. Facing it is the only way to end its power over you. Failure isn't born from the size of the challenge. Failure is born from the refusal to confront the root cause of your struggle. It's painful to diagnose the root. It means slowing down when you're desperate to move faster. It means asking hard questions like, why does this problem keep repeating? What pattern am I blind to? What fear am I covering up with excuses? It means looking in the mirror and realizing that sometimes the root is not out there. It's in you, your ego, your denial, your unwillingness to change. That's a dark realization, but it's also the beginning of real strength. The people who rise above failure aren't the ones who avoid it. They are the ones who dissect it. They tear apart the wreckage, not to grieve, but to understand. They treat every breakdown as an autopsy. They aren't afraid of the blood, the mess, the truth, because they know the root cause is the only map out of the chaos. Once you know why you failed, you can build something that won't collapse the same way again. Think of it like a tree. If the roots are diseased, the leaves will always wither, no matter how many times you polish them. Most people keep polishing leaves, trying to make the tree look healthy on the outside. But eventually, the sickness spreads and the tree dies. The brutal but liberating choice is to dig down, cut out the infection, and rebuild the root system. That's messy work. That's exhausting work. But that's the only work that lasts. Fear tells you it's too much. Fear tells you to move on, to distract yourself, to put on another patch, and that's why fear breeds failure. But if you can push past the fear and confront the foundation, failure transforms into instruction. Every root you uncover becomes a lesson. Every hard truth you accept becomes armor. The irony is, the very act of digging into the root strips fear of its grip. Because once you've seen the worst, what else is there to be afraid of? You can't be threatened by shadows once you've stood face to face with the source. And you can't be destroyed by the same failure once you've pulled out its foundation. So stop patching. Stop pretending. Stop being afraid of the diagnosis. The root is waiting for you. It may hurt to face it, but it will hurt far worse if you don't. Because every ignored root grows deeper, every avoided truth grows heavier, until one day it crushes everything you built on top of it. Dig now, while you still can. Find the root, no matter how painful. Rip it out, no matter how bloody. That's the only way to turn fear into courage and failure into fuel. Success doesn't come from hope. It doesn't come from vague intentions or loose promises. Success comes from design, From a plan so sharp, so uncompromising, that it cuts through excuses. A ruthless plan is not about being reckless, it's about being precise. It's about designing the battlefield before you step into it, so that when chaos hits, you already know exactly where to strike. Most people fail because their plans are weak. They build soft outlines, not hard structures. They leave space for excuses, for detours, for comfort. A ruthless plan doesn't allow that. It forces you to face reality as it is, not as you wish it to be. It asks brutal questions. What's the goal? What stands in the way? What exact steps are required to get there? Who needs to be cut out? What needs to be sacrificed? If the answer stings, good. That's how you know it's real. Think of your plan as architecture. Nobody builds a skyscraper by guessing. Every beam, every floor, every bolt is calculated. One weak design flaw and the whole structure collapses. Your life, your business, your mission is no different. A ruthless plan maps out every critical move, tests for weak points, and eliminates unnecessary pieces. It is not flexible to the point of fragility. It is built to adapt, but never to bend under pressure. A ruthless plan is detailed. Vague plans don't survive reality. I want to grow my business is not a plan. I will increase revenue by 30% in 12 months by launching 2 new products, cutting operational waste by 15%, and expanding into 3 specific markets is a plan. That level of clarity doesn't leave room for wandering. It commands execution, but detail alone is not enough. A ruthless plan is also prioritized. It separates what matters from what doesn't. Most people drown in busy work because their plan is a to-do list, not a blueprint. Ruthlessness means saying no to everything that doesn't directly drive progress. It means cutting projects that look good on paper but don't serve the mission. It means being willing to offend, to disappoint, to ignore distractions, because the plan comes first. The most ruthless plans also include pain. They acknowledge the sacrifices required. Time, comfort, relationships, even parts of your old identity. Something will have to burn. Weak plans hide from sacrifice, hoping success can be achieved without cost. But the truth is, every great achievement carries a price tag. A ruthless plan calculates that cost in advance and prepares you to pay it. That's why it wins, and let's be clear, ruthlessness doesn't mean rigidity. Life will throw punches you didn't predict. Markets shift, people quit, unexpected problems surface. A ruthless plan isn't about pretending those things won't happen. It's about building a framework strong enough to absorb shocks without collapsing. It gives you the ability to pivot without losing direction. It is firm on the destination, but adaptable in the path. Here's the part most people miss. A ruthless plan also has accountability built into it. It's not just written in a notebook, it's tracked, measured, and enforced. You don't just set targets, you set deadlines, checkpoints, metrics that don't lie. Every week, every month, you hold yourself up against the plan and ask, am I on track or am I drifting? If you're drifting, the plan doesn't soften, it demands correction. When you build this kind of plan, something shifts in you, your energy changes, your confidence grows. Because now, instead of waking up each day hoping things will work out, you wake up knowing exactly what to do. You're no longer reacting to life, you're executing a design. That alone puts you ahead of 90% of people stuck in guesswork and improvisation. A ruthless plan is not glamorous, it's not motivational, it's often boring, repetitive, unromantic work. But it is the backbone of greatness. Without it, ambition collapses under the weight of reality. With it, you become unstoppable. Every obstacle turns into a test, not a tragedy. Every delay becomes a detour, not a dead end. Because the plan already accounted for resistance, it thrives on it. So ask yourself, is your plan soft or is it ruthless? Does it bend under pressure or does it sharpen you under fire? If your plan doesn't scare you a little, if it doesn't demand sacrifice, if it doesn't force you into discipline, then it's not ruthless enough. Design it, own it, commit to it, and never let comfort or compromise water it down. Because when the plan is ruthless, the results are inevitable, ideas are cheap, plans are everywhere, dreams are floating around in every conversation, every notebook, every late night thought, but none of it matters until execution begins. And not just casual execution, not half-hearted attempts, execution with unbreakable discipline. That's the difference between people who talk about success and people who live it. Execution is where the battlefield gets real. It's where the excitement of vision fades and the grind of reality starts. This is the part most people can't handle. They love the idea, they enjoy the planning, they get high off the motivation. But when it's time to wake up early, stay up late, repeat the work, stick to the process, and keep pushing through boredom and setbacks, they quit. That's why discipline is the line that separates winners from dreamers. Unbreakable discipline means you do it whether you feel like it or not. Motivation is temporary, discipline is permanent. Motivation gets you started, discipline keeps you moving long after the excitement is gone. Discipline is showing up on the days when no one is watching, when no applause is coming, when results haven't shown up yet. It's the ability to look at your plan, your checklist, your commitments, and say, this is non-negotiable. The truth is, life will always test your commitment. There will be distractions, temptations, failures, moments where quitting looks easier than continuing. Unbreakable discipline doesn't avoid those moments. It crushes them. It reminds you of the bigger mission, the reason you started, the cost of stopping. It forces you to choose progress over comfort again and again, until progress becomes your default mode. And don't mistake discipline for rigidity. Discipline isn't about doing everything perfectly, it's about doing the essential things consistently. It's not about being flawless, it's about being relentless. You will make mistakes, you will stumble, you will fall short on some days. Discipline doesn't mean you never fall, it means you always get back up and return to the plan without delay. That bounce back, that refusal to stay down, is what creates unstoppable momentum. Execution with discipline also means tracking yourself with brutal honesty. You don't guess whether you're on track, you measure. You don't excuse missed targets, you correct them. Every week, every month, you hold yourself accountable. You don't wait for someone else to push you. You become your own enforcer. If you can't discipline yourself, the world will discipline you with failure. That's the choice. The best performers in any field aren't necessarily the most talented. They're the most disciplined. Talent fades when it's inconsistent. Genius collapses when it's lazy. But ordinary people with extraordinary discipline become unstoppable. They execute so consistently that, over time, their results tower over the naturally gifted who lacked discipline. The marketplace doesn't reward potential, it rewards results, and results only come from disciplined execution. This kind of discipline requires sacrifice. You will have to give things up: comfort, entertainment, toxic relationships, even parts of your old identity. That's the cost of execution. Most people aren't willing to pay it. They'd rather keep their habits, keep their comfort, and keep wondering why success never comes. Unbreakable discipline is ruthless. It doesn't care about your excuses, your feelings, or your fears. It demands that you do what needs to be done, no matter how you feel. Here's the irony: once discipline becomes your way of life, it stops feeling like punishment. At first, it's hard, it feels restrictive, it feels like you're carrying a weight, but eventually, discipline becomes freedom. It frees you from laziness, from regret, from wasted time, from failure. It gives you power because you know you can rely on yourself. When everyone else is breaking under pressure, you stay standing. When everyone else quits at the first obstacle, you keep going. That confidence is worth more than talent, luck, or connections. So the final step is simple in words but brutal in practice. Execute with unbreakable discipline. Not when it's easy, not when it's exciting, always. Make your actions align with your vision every single day. Build the muscle of consistency until it becomes who you are. Because in the end, Execution is the bridge between the life you want and the life you live. And discipline is the steel that keeps that bridge from collapsing. You've already defined your vision, embraced your problems, found the route, and designed the plan. Now the only question left is, will you execute or will you wait? Because execution with unbreakable discipline doesn't just get you results. It makes you unstoppable. This isn't theory. It's battle-tested artillery for your climb. Clear goals, fearless confrontation, deep diagnosis, smart design, rugged execution. That's your 5-step rocket to success. Now it's up to you. Don't just watch, design, decide, dominate.